There was nowhere left to run or hide. When the choices I had made came and ruined my whole life, I had to fight like hell to make my way back up. I'm still near the bottom, but all the pain has made me tough. I miss the first class ticket to a lonely grave where the sins of my past are calling my name.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it!
You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. We are We the People, the People's Patriot Project.
For a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission, you have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the WeP3 Team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it! Truck off.
Hello, and welcome to the People's Patriot Project. We are bringing you, we got your 6 at 6 tonight, Patriot Playtime. We've got Mark and Jonathan in the house with us, along with me. I'm Andrea Eichmann. Every week we bring you this show. We bring in a guest and a lot of times a new musician. We share all the good and sometimes the not so good things that are happening in our world. This week, we have two spectacular guests. We have Joel Grant and Tim Labatzky. They will be here to tell us their missions, and I believe we're going to hear some awesome music. I do need to throw a shout out. Bourbon Battle Buddies, always here. Jonathan, J-Train, thank you. Derek Iozio, Thanks for being here again. As always, you are spectacular. I mean, this guy brings us new people too all the time. And then contagion effect, I don't know. They can't stay away from us. We can't stay away from them. Thanks for hanging around our world. I just was laughing hard the other night as you guys were having fun on your show. So thank you very much for that. Those of you, Jeremy Daniels, thanks also for being here every single week, a faithful follower, participator, filling in, sometimes keeping us on track, sometimes just letting us know we've fallen off the track. We do have this handy dandy little link that will allow you to let us know who you are when you comment on Facebook. We love your comments. We want you to ask your questions. Bring in our guests. Let us know what information you need from them as well. And we will share all of that. I'm going to share a link that allows you to show your name. If you don't want to show your name, that's fine. But if you would like us to know who's speaking to us, you just use this link and we will make sure that we get out to you. We do have this pledge that we do. And I guess it's as much of a pledge as a statement of mission as a wake up, let's do this. So we know why we get to do this. Thank you to the service members and first responders that have committed their time, sweat, blood, limbs, family, and life to give us the freedoms that we have that allow us to do the things that we do. So thank you very much to the contingency of service members, heroes. I mean, not everyone can be a hero, but wow, in a lot of people's eyes, you are, because not a lot of us have chosen to take that path. We are going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you can take off your hat, stand and cover your heart, any or all of those, and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll get started. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ooh, that's too many.
Here we are. Here we go. Let's roll. Gotta always situate this. Got to put the queen up in the middle and get everyone where they belong. And it's like getting ready for the school year, making sure everyone's sitting in the right desk. And it starts. Jonathan's crew's been down. You guys have been almost in school for a month already, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Almost a month already.
That's crazy.
Yikes. That's awesome. That means then those kids will be out a month before we are.
I don't know that they are. Remember, they got to take that whole 3 months off of Mardi Gras. So that's they get that time too. That's
spring break and Mardi Gras.
We just do things differently down here in the South. That's all.
Zero argument with that.
All good.
All
good.
It's funny, Miss Eichmann brought up the conversation about her laughing at a recent opportunity. I did not know that I was going to get to have the chance to showcase with Jason Steiner. And we'll tear this Band-Aid off, and we're going to do the best we can to stay focused on just what we got going on with our amazing guests. But let's not stop or not I don't even know the right words. Hero Stock is this week, coming up this Saturday. Me and Miss Eichmann and Mr. Crochet will start our venture to the little town in Nebraska between Lincoln and Omaha and celebrate our veterans and our first responders, because Jason's event does that. And we'll talk more about that later, but we just want to tear the Band-Aid off a little bit. I didn't know I was going to be on Contagion Effect this week. It wasn't in the plans. I'm sitting there. I was watching the mighty raging killer Gophers on TV that were playing the very small, minuscule team of Nebraska Cornhuskers. And the raging Gophers come out on top. That's just the way it is. Well, I may have pre-gamed a little bit for that. And I was having a little confessional time with Jonathan before the show. I probably wasn't in a condition to be on a podcast at that moment. I'm just going to say it wasn't sloppy, but I wasn't ready. We'll just put it that way. But it was a blast. Those guys are amazing. We love Contagion Effect and all the people they brought on that show that night. Scotty Hastings was there. He's going to be the headliner music down there at Hero Stock, and what an amazing time. So for the first time, because we're always trying to grow and make things better, and this will be in Jonathan's news. Well, let's just do the news. Let's do that.
All right. We'll start off with the month of September is National Suicide Prevention Month. Between 2000 and 2016, the percentage increase in the rate of death by suicide in the United States was 30%. The percentage increase in suicides among girls and women in that same time frame was 50%. Suicide is the 11th leading cause of death in the United States. An estimated 49,449 deaths by suicide in the U.S. between 2021 and 2022. There were an estimated 1.7 million suicide attempts in the year 2022 alone. 94% of all Americans believe that suicide can be prevented. I'll save my bid for that later on. September 4th, tomorrow, that's Labor Day. Some of us will have the day off work. I will be on call. But the day is set aside to celebrate the American workers' contributions to our country. The United States Department of Labor's official tribute to American workers on Labor Day is as follows. The vital force of labor added materially to the highest standard of living and the greatest production the world has ever known, and has brought us closer to the realization of our traditional ideals of economic and political democracy. It is appropriate, therefore, that the nation pays tribute on Labor Day to the creator of so much of the nation's strength, freedom, and leadership, the American worker. End quote. Oh my God. On September 3rd, 1950, in Korea, Sergeant Eduardo Gomez distinguished himself by defending his company as it was ruthlessly attacked by a hostile force. Notably, Gomez would maneuver across open ground to successfully assault a manned tank. He was wounded during his retreat from the tank, but Gomez refused medical attention and instead manned his post, firing upon the enemy until his company could form a defensive perimeter. He was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor March 18, 2014 for the actions taken on that day. A little bit of sad news on September 1st, Friday. A legend in the music industry passed away. Jimmy Buffett died at 76 years old. He was born on Christmas Day, 1946. Jimmy Buffett would not only make his mark on the music industry, but also made his mark on the film industry, and was an author of 3 books titled Tales from Margaritaville, Where is Joe Merchant, and A Pirate Looks at 50. All of these books will be placed on the New York Times bestseller list. The mark of Jimmy Buffett will be left and felt all over the world. And that is it for the news.
A lot of parents out there gathering together these days.
Ding. Jimmy Buffett.
Sorry.
You're good. Jimmy Buffett also Well, he applied to be in the Navy, and he was trying to be in the Navy, and they gave him a medical exemption. So he had a peptic ulcer. Not that we were airing his business, but one of those men that wanted to serve and didn't get the chance to because it wasn't right place for him. But I think we can qualify Mr. Buffett as a service member in other ways. He served his country in a different manner with his talent. And so, jokingly, it's sad to lose Mr. Buffett, but jokingly, we created a safe word for tonight's show, which is Margaritaville. If there's anything that we get into, and we did post that at the beginning of the show, so if there's anyone that's out there that's listening, I mean, we see people like Gabriel Wren is there, Jeremy Daniels is there, Mr. Iozio with he always puts El Paso because I always F it up. I am so sorry, brother, but Catch 22 from El Paso. I don't know why I keep saying San Antonio, and I get that. And we have in my house right now at this moment, we have a native of Houston, Texas, and I learned something today because I am a social studies. I know geography and this and that. In my brain, I put Houston south of, and it is south of Austin. But I put them like not the same because me and Andrea frequent Austin and we frequent Dallas, and I know that Dallas is 3 hours from Austin. And our Houstonite in our house tonight said, "Well, Houston's only 3 hours from Dallas." I'm like, it is not. It's got to be 3 hours past. I geographically could not match all that up. I had to go look at a map, so I was wrong. I had to apologize. They're about the same distance apart from each other, and that just blows my mind. But that Texas thing always messes up. That's you, Tim Labatzky. You guys.
Yeah. And it's 3 hours to Houston, but it's 4.5 hours to get through Houston.
Well, I get it. So we got Tim Labatzky here with Patriot-owned businesses, and we got Mr. Joel Grant Faulisi, who just recently found that he's got Italian in his blood and is sharing that in his pre-show, and that's why he's adopted the Faulisi name. And it's great having you gentlemen here tonight.
Yeah, it's good being here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm looking at the notes real quick because I get in trouble for not doing that. Tim, I'm scouring your Facebook page and I'm trying to find you. Do you guys have a web page?
We do.
You're gonna have to tell us because I'm not seeing it on your web page or on the Facebook page.
It's patriotownedbusinesses.net.
That's pretty tough to follow through there. We want to make sure that gets up here.
Patriotownedbusinesses.net.
Awesome.
Now it's posted, it's posted on our page, but the group, it's on there, but we get so much every day, it's hard to keep posting it.
So let's hear this. Let's tell us the story. What got you to being in this space? I'm assuming you served. And then what is the basic message mission of Patriot-owned businesses?
Well, I'll give you the short on that. Like I was telling you before the show in our pregame that sometimes I get on a soapbox, but I'm not going to get on that today. If I do, just cut my mic off. So
I forgot where that button's at. Oh, well.
So Patriot-owned businesses started in 2020. Like a lot of things did, kind of going on with what we started. I originally built it for a platform for family and friends to be able to shop and spend their money with other conservative businesses. The reason why I started, kind of give you, I'll step back and I'll go through it as fast as possible. You're saying I served. Unfortunately, I did not. I was a cocky 18-year-old that figured out or retired from the Texas Rangers by now. So I didn't serve. My grandfather did. He's a decorated World War II vet. My father served in Vietnam. My mother served in Vietnam. And both my sons, which I have twin boys, now I'm giving my age away, that just got out of the Army. So my grandfather, quick story, served World War II, was stationed in the Philippines. He was part of the Signal Corps, which basically interprets incoming from the Japanese then, since he was in the Philippines. They caught wind of two Japanese divisions that were waiting for these Marines to land, and the Marines were shooting up the middle to go take over whatever they were doing. I didn't get the whole story from my grandfather, by the way. It was my grandmother. My grandfather never talked about it. They interpreted what the Japanese were saying. In turn, the gentleman that was with my grandfather was able to convince these two Japanese battalions or whatever on each side of these Marines to shoot on each other, which 200 Marines went in, 200 Marines came back from that. So then he gets out of the military, spends 3.5 months in the hospital with malaria, opens a business. The economy in Michigan takes a crap when the car industry started sending all their business to other countries, and he lost his business. My father, following in my grandfather's footsteps, opens up the same kind of business in Texas, doing very well. Texas economy takes a crap. He loses his business. I was about 13 years old in my room, and I remember my mother and father talking at the kitchen table about how they were going to make payroll that week. It wasn't concerned about us. He was concerned about the families, and that he has developed over those 4.5 years that he owned this business, that these people worked for him on how they were going to get paid. And that stuck with me for years and obviously years. I still remember it as of today. So then in 2020 is when I started seeing the same thing happening to other businesses that I knew were conservative Americans and believed in America. So I started this group. I'm sorry, I can't say group anymore. I started this organization to help individuals find businesses that believed in the same aspects of America as we all do. And it started out like 60 or 65 people. Over the past 2.5 years, it went from just being a Facebook group to having over 16,000 members, almost 17,000 now. And on our website that you're asking me about, which again, plug myself, www.patriotownedbusinesses.net, has about 1,200 legitimate conservative businesses registered with Patriot-owned businesses.
Outstanding.
And we've done a lot of things from the start of it. You know, obviously it was just a little group. There's a lot of things that we have done, and we can talk about it later or whatever, but things we've done, like we do events, which I'd met you at an event. We do, or our events are to get people together, businesses and individuals. We travel across America to show support for Patriot-owned businesses. We actually have a trailer that we have hashtag POB across America that we take whenever we go out of state or even around Texas. We use that. So there's a lot that we do. We have a job fair. We have a hashtag POB is a fund that we're raising to help Patriot-owned businesses and individuals in the organization in case they fall on hard times, blah, 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 blah. So I know we don't have 4.5 hours and I'll get off my soapbox, but that is kind of the gist of what POB is.
Oh, did we not tell you guys? I mean, we always say this is a 1 hour show, but we go as long as it needs to go, just so you guys know. we're completely okay with
I just
that.
don't want anybody to fall asleep with the small details about POB, which is Patriot-owned businesses, by the way. That's always a big question. What's POB? It's Patriot-owned businesses, which it started. And this, I forgot to tell you, this is kind of a funny story. When I first started, it was like American conservatives supporting patriot businesses across America. And everybody like, oh, what's the name of your group? I don't know. I don't remember. So we got it down to patriot-owned businesses. Now it's down to just POB.
I don't know if it's still, because there's a lot of things that have changed. Like when I was in the service, it was the chow hall or the mess hall. Now it's the DFAC, which stands for dining facilities, which that's not really an acronym. So trust me, I'm not an easy learner. In my day, POV was personal operation vehicle. So I mean, it's good to get and know and hear what all this is and means. And I do want to unwrap something a little bit. And again, I'm giving some graces here in this conversation because you said conservative business owners, but I also want to unwrap the idea that, you know, a patriot doesn't necessarily have to be conservative. And this does violate some of our policies by not talking political. Can you speak to that piece a little bit that doesn't get us in trouble? But I mean, do you have to be conservative?
No, like at the very beginning, which I love your intro. That's awesome. And when you bring up that patriot, the definition of patriot, which I should have been wearing it today, but we actually have a T-shirt with our logo on one sleeve that has a definition of patriot, which is probably one of the biggest misunderstandings across the board. And I hear flack about it every day through the organization from members. You know, some of them are like, oh, well, you're not a patriot unless you're a Republican. Really? How many Republicans have you followed and tell me that they're patriots? My personal definition of a patriot would be an example if, of course, everybody on this page or everybody I'm speaking with right now knows what the original 3% is, right? That 3% of Americans, you can say, is what created America. You ask half the people, they don't know what that means. So for me to be a patriot, it would be no different than that. If I stood up and said, will you stand with me, not in front of me, not behind me, but next to me, and defend the freedoms that our grandparents and other families have sacrificed, would you stand with me? To me, that's a patriot because you're standing up for what you believe in. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're Republican, Libertarian. You know, I could step way out of bounds, but I'm not going to go that far with that. But that doesn't mean anything to me. If you're standing next to me and we're fighting for our freedoms, I'm not going to turn to you and go, who did you vote for last time? I don't care who you voted for.
I love it. And we will. I'm sorry. We're going to engage in these conversations. This one here. I don't make it political. Several years ago, when there were some things happening in the great state of Minnesota, and even after maybe even some events and that wasn't several years. I guess it's been a year. You know, this thing people have talked about that happened out in DC. Me and Andrea were having a conversation because we're called the People's Patriot Project.
How dare you use that bad word, patriot?
The patriot in there. And, you know, our good friend Topher did a song called Patriot, which wasn't spurred on by anything that happened in any space other than his brain. And if you knew the man and knew his convictions, I mean, he's a guy that says, you know what, I won't swear in my lyrics because that's not what I believe. The guy's marching around quizzing people about the Bible right now. Now, I know that's a whole nother piece. And again, go get him, Topher. Go do your thing, man. This country was based on a foundation and a belief system that we would have freedom. And I get it. you don't have to create the argument with me. I understand there are some groups of people that may not have had the opportunity of the same freedoms from the start of when the Europeans came to the United States and I get it. Show me another country less than 300 years old that has seen the progress that this country has seen. That's the project.
You don't even have to go 300 years on that.
Right. I'm just saying that we're not even 300 years old. 3 generations, legitimate generation lives old. I mean, you stack up 3. We'll see if I make it to 100, but you stack up 3 100-year-old people, and we're talking about 1776 right now. And again, show me where this progress has happened anywhere in the world that has the freedoms, that has the pursuit, not guaranteed happiness, that has. There's other things that I could talk about right now, and I'm not scared to talk about it. It's not our platform. Our platform is to celebrate the freedoms we do have, the freedoms we can move forward, and the men and women have provided that for us. That goes back to our pledge. I don't know if it's a pledge. We created. It's a statement that says we know why we get to do this. We get to do this because men and women have died. Hey, if you're out there and you're getting to make a living hitting a baseball out of the field, or if you're out there getting to make a living making bread, or whatever your living is, whether you like it or not like it, it was bought and paid for by someone else. Bottom line. And this is my platform, and I'll stand it on all day long. I won't do that out of respect for everyone here, and I want to hear everyone's stories and words as well. I want to hear everyone who's on and listening to our podcast. I want to hear everyone stand up and share your thoughts. And as long as progression, it was funny. We were talking on pre-show, and Mr. Labatzky came in and he says, I'm moving forward. And then, we came up with the statement. It doesn't matter how big and far you move forward and at what rate you move forward, as long as you're moving forward. And collectively, if you're taking 10 steps forward, and unfortunately, because of other people's stupid decisions and stupid whatever they do makes us take a couple steps back, our progression is still forward because we're taking many more steps forward than we are taking backwards. And so there's some things that have happened in the Minnesota space that, we say we defend and support police officers. We defend and support police officers because they are on the front lines daily. We will not support those that are not following the rules and laws and the constitutional pieces of everyone else. We will not. We've had to deal with that. So a conversation with me and Andrea was, hey, do we get rid of the word patriot? And it was weird because we have a guardian angel out there. I don't know if I want to put Adam Bird that high on the list of but he literally calls at that time, and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm like, "Well, we're actually having a discussion. Do we get rid of the patriot in our name?" And there's a piece that I use, and it's me, it's mine. Anyone can use it. I didn't trademark it. It's not copyrighted, but I start a conversation with Patriot Pride. I end a conversation with Patriot Pride. And Adam said, "Are you getting rid of Patriot Pride?" And I'm like, "Oh, to the hell no, I'm not getting rid of it." He goes, "And there ain't no reason to take the patriot out of your name." And he goes, "There's a piece that stands there." And that we kind of put our foot in the cement at the time and said, "Okay, bring it. Let's go. We're going to live this." And here we go. And Jeremy Daniels, thank you. Never surrender. Never surrender.
We've got the same, one of our big things that I use every time I speak is POB actually has, which is Patriot Owned Businesses, by the way, for everybody. I'll stand. I mean, and you don't know me well enough, but when I get going, I get going. But I'll stand up and say, Patriot Owned Businesses. Somebody will say, "What's it for?" Well, we're supporting American businesses, one patriot at a time. I'm not afraid of that word one bit.
you're standing in my story time with saying that. Because
sorry, I'll shut up.
No, I love it because it absolutely parallels, because we talk about, and again, I'm sorry if this is cliche and we talk about it, but the young boy running up and down the beach, there's starfish all over the beach. And the boy's grabbing one, throwing it into the water, running up to another one, throwing it into the water, and there's this old wise man, right? The guy that knows everything. He's walking up the beach, he checks out the young boy, and he goes, "Hey, kiddo, what the hell are you doing? You'll never make a difference. Look at all of them out here." And the little boy looked at the all-knowing older man. He said, grabbed another one, throws it in the water. "I made a difference for that one." And that's our slam dunk right there. That's where we are. That's where we're going to move. That's what we're going to do. If we can make life better for one veteran, and we have done it. If we can make life better for one veteran, we've done our job. Jonathan, what do you got, brother?
Oh, no, I was just saying one at a time.
Oh, okay. Oh, I like
that. I mean, it's hard to reach the masses if you can't reach one, right?
Right.
But the way you reach the masses is to change the life of one, and then the one carries your story, and then another, or whatever. It makes its way around. You just got to start with one.
And we've been with Patriot-owned businesses. We've been to a ton of events. I've been to events with 1,000 people. I've been to events with 50 people. I've been to events with 8 people. And I always take one thing from each event I've been to, because they all have speakers. About 2 months ago, we went to one here locally in Dallas, and there was probably collectively, I would say, about 50 people there. But their speakers were so strong in their stance that I've never been to an event before where I hit every emotion in 2 days. And that's the strength that a lot of people don't understand, is if you actually listen to things and take something away from it, it doesn't matter, like you were just saying, it doesn't matter if it's one person or 50. If you take something from it and somebody else takes something from it, that's 2 more people that you didn't have before.
100%. Scotty Hastings in the house. Does your ears ring all the time, Scotty? Because I think a lot of people are talking about you these days. Joel Hunt, good to see you, brother.
How about Hank Barb? Hank Barb is watching.
Hank Barb.
I know.
Bears. We got the All-Stars showing up tonight.
Long time no see.
I have all these nuances I want to get into and dance and play and have fun, but we have another guest here, and I don't want him to sit there thinking we don't know that he's not there.
He's right. Wait, my finger? He's right there.
We have Mr. Faulisi here, Joel Grant Faulisi, musician extraordinaire.
Yeah, working on the extraordinaire part, but I do my little part.
You do an amazing part, brother.
Yeah.
Tell us who you are, tell us about your service, and tell us what you're getting done.
Well, I am. I can kind of. We talked about the DNA thing earlier. So I was born with the surname Warner. Grant is my mother's maiden name, and Faulisi is the true surname that I should have had, because my grandfather's biological father was a Sicilian immigrant to the Corny, New York area. He met a local girl, and the families wouldn't let him marry, so my grandfather was raised by not his biological father. So I shocked a lot of people by doing DNA testing, because when I got my results back, I said, well, who's the Italians in the family, and especially from Sicily? So it took me quite a few years to figure that out, and I actually went back to New York, and I was welcomed into my Faulisi biological family from the turn of the century, from Sicilian immigrants that came to the U.S. to help make it a great country. So
that's very cool.
Yeah,
cool story.
And Yeah. In 1982, I joined the U.S. Coast Guard, got out of high school. I went to boot camp in Cape May, New Jersey. Nope, I thought the Coast Guard would be easy, but they didn't tell me their boot camp was based after the Marine boot camp. So I got in shape pretty fast that summer. And my first duty station, and in the Coast Guard, you can't go to your Class A school or anything. You had to go out and you work your way up. So I went to At-2, Alaska. At-2 is a Loran station. Now that they would produce a radio signal to help ships navigate the high seas. Now they use satellite. So it was an isolated duty station. Only 23 Coast Guard men on the whole island. But if you do your research, there was a battle of At-2 in World War II where the Japanese invaded the island. They deported a bunch of the Aleut natives to Japan, and at the time, I think it was about a year or so after the Japanese took over the island, that the United States government says we're going to go reclaim our properties. So there's quite a story on the Battle of At-2. So after I spent 9 months in isolated duty, went to New York City, went to my Class A school as an electronics technician. I went the crypto route, so I had to go out to Mare Island to a Navy school to learn about crypto equipment, how to repair that on board a Coast Guard cutter. And then I went back to New York City and was on the Coast Guard cutter Tamaroa. And then it was kind of interesting because at my time in New York City, Governor's Island, you could see the World Trade Center there. I spent many years around that part of New York City, and at the time of after I got discharged from the Coast Guard, I became a diabetic, and a lot of that had to do with my service and being exposed to different substances. So I got discharged. I worked as a maintenance guy using my trade I learned in the military. Then I came to Arizona, went to a recording engineer school, and then after a while, I met an Israeli girl, and I went to live over in Israel, in her country, for a couple of years. And I was actually living and working at Tower Semiconductor in Israel. And when 9/11 happened, I was at my desk there, and somebody says, "You need to call your family back in New York." And I just couldn't get through and all that. And then there was a guy that's can't really say his name. He was in the Israeli military. He helped me get back through to my family in the States. So my brother made it all right. He was working in Manhattan. So kind of emotional for me that time. But after I got divorced from my Israeli wife and came back to the U.S. and now musically, I got my guitar here. And in March of 2020, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's, and I was really depressed for a while. I didn't really pick up my instrument or anything because trying to deal with the tremors and everything. So last year at the time, I'm blind in my right eye, and I had really bad cataract in my left eye. So last summer, I basically spent the time in the house basically blind. So I would just pick up my guitar and just start strumming the chords that I knew. And then I got involved with Guitar for Vets. The guy called me up and said, "Hey, are you ready to come to classes?" I said, "Man, I can't drive a vehicle right now." And so he got me hooked up with Paul Lilly from the Cyber chapter. So I joined Cov Arts, went through their course. Then after that, Paul got me set up to take the 10 lessons. I took those lessons, went through, and then after that, Paul and Tom Lamont, they asked me if I would want to be an instructor. So now I'm a Guitar for Vets instructor, and I'm trying to help other veterans out, like you guys say, one veteran at a time. I'm on my second student, so I'm helping other guys out. My biggest challenges is with my tremors is holding my pick. I will drop my pick sometimes. I know if Scotty's still here, I still think about getting the device that he uses for his picking. But for my picking, when I'm going up and down, I know my tremors will interfere with my music. So I do a lot of up picking to help control the tremors and all that.
Do you?
And I love my Fender Telecaster. I got my Fender Telecaster here, so I'll do a lot of blues stuff with this. Any questions?
Well, I have statements. I have. It's hard for me to find people that inspire me.
Yeah.
Call that my arrogance. Call that my who I am. Whatever. We've been following you for a while here, and I've never seen you when you're. And I know there's the moments. I get it, but you've done nothing but raise my spirits today, Mr. Faulisi. Because the face of adversity that you have dealt with, and your absolute positive pushing forward drive to be positive, I would be a puddle of mud. I know I would. I'd be like, F this. Screw this. I give up. I'm done. You inspire me. And the great piece about it is I know that what an amazing tool for some other brothers and sisters that are out there that are trying to find that person, that moment, that thing. Hey, I'm in a real crappy spot and I can't find my way out of it. You're the guy that can help that. I just appreciate who you are. Thank you.
Yeah, I think if it wasn't for Guitar for Vets, I don't know where I would be right now, especially when I was stuck in my house last summer and I couldn't see. I mean, we have a lot of challenges. One thing that helped me out is being involved with the Michael J. Fox Foundation. I mean, he puts a good face on for people with Parkinson's disease, and he's done a lot of good work with that. And I mean, I watched his show Still that was on Apple TV. I mean, there's times when I would just have tears in my eyes because, man, I see the condition he's in now, and I keep on thinking to myself, man, is that the way that my tremors will progress? But I'm going to keep on plugging along, and I'll keep strumming this guitar. If my tremors get so bad that I can't strum the strings, I'll maybe use it as a drum.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You are correct, Derek Thompson, Patriot Pride. And we have one of our guests. I'd like to know who. I'd like to know who this user is. Oh, that's option 3. That would be
no.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
Why did we lose your connection, brother? Oh, look at that guy. Steve Wilson, you're the best, brother.
Been a long time. Steve Wilson. Patriot Pride. Thank you, Derek Thompson. Woo, Patriot Pride.
Mr. Faulisi, you want to give a shot at rolling some music for us?
I'm working on this song for my friend Kevin. I'm going to have to take off my glasses. When they did the surgery on my left eye, I can read good here, but distance is not too bad. So I'll take off my glasses. I'll just strum it a little bit at a time and go through these lyrics. I'm working on this, and the end of the song I'm not too quite sure of. So I call this like a brother song. It's for my friend Kevin. He was a Navy veteran of 12 years, and he had a really bad brain tumor cancer, and he passed away a few years back. So I'll say, we sat on your porch smoking cigars. Your father brought us bourbon to warm our hearts. Young men's dreams are not far off. Sing to me, brother, that happy song. Sing to me, brother, you're so stripped off. Sing to me, brother, from the great beyond. Long came time and we drifted apart to each other's ways. The road did fork. To the mystery of life we saw no end. Sing to me, brother, that happy song. Sing to me, brother, you're so stripped off. Sing to me, brother, from the great beyond. Sons without fathers lead to destruction. You held me steady, my friend. So in my twilight, I remember to sing you a happy song, my brother. You're so stripped off, my brother. My voice rises to the great beyond. Sing to me, brother, with bourbon and cigars, my brother, wherever you are. I think I have a little bit of Bruce Springsteen influence in that.
I love it. I think, I mean, Jonathan's over there drinking bourbon and cigars right now, so I know that he's that's all about what he's doing.
Yeah, but that's a work in progress. Once I get it down, and I like to get it recorded and dedicated to my friend Kevin Troy, wherever he may be now.
That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Scotty is still here saying, get it. Love it.
I think the song might speak a little bit, and just listening to the words of the song, specifically the part where you say, sing to me wherever you are.
Yeah.
I think that speaks a lot to just how music in general speaks to people. You know what I mean? Like, this songs from generations ago are still relevant right now because music speaks to people across all boundaries and all borders. And I love what you did, and I appreciate you putting your emotion and your experiences into this song.
Yeah, it's music is what can unite us all and all that. I think that's the direction that we should try to bring the country and the world. And I talk with my DNA testing. I'm a project administrator for my ESK 863 project on family tree DNA. So I didn't know I got a guy in Morocco that I had shared a common ancestor back in 3000 BC. It's kind of interesting having a paternal line from Sicily, and I get to meet these people from the Mediterranean region where we have different belief systems, different cultural things, but we all had a common ancestor, and I think people should go with that. I mean, we're all human, and we make mistakes, but we got to learn from those mistakes.
Yep. And move forward.
And move forward, yeah.
1 inch at a time, somebody said.
Yeah, 1 inch at a time.
Doesn't matter how fast, doesn't how big of the step is.
Yep. The tortoise wins the race, right?
Yeah.
Slow and steady.
So you're saying that
you're right about the music thing, and I'm not going to interrupt that much, but you're right about the music thing. Look at the national anthem.
Yeah.
You people that unites.
Mr. Anthony, I hope you're still here. Not here. I mean, I know you had to leave, but good to have you on, brother, tonight if you get a chance. Another amazing musician is Jim Anthony out of Buffalo, Minnesota. I almost said Buffalo, Wyoming. Why would I say that? Why would I say that? I don't know. But
I grew up outside of Buffalo, New York.
I'm wondering if Buffalo may not be the name of a town that's probably in every state in the country.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, but
I can't say right outside, maybe 2 hours outside Buffalo, New York.
We've got Derek Thompson and Scotty Hastings in here having a little reunion. Awesome having you. Eric Mello, Contagion Effect. Look at gosh, I'm scattered right now for a minute. For a second. A lot of people coming in.
You got to recenter.
Musa.
I did like Scotty's comment. You knew the guy was going to rock when he came off.
So take a moment, everyone that's listening cares. I mean, tell us how your college football teams did this weekend. I got 2 winners in the bag, I know, and it was actually – I am not a Deion Sanders fan, but it was fun to watch Colorado take it to Tulsa this weekend as well. Great job. His son is helming the team as the quarterback or signal caller, some call, but the mighty Pokes of Wyoming took on Texas Tech and had a little victory. And then, like I said, the slain, earth-moving Gophers destroyed their opponents down here in Minnesota, but those rotten, moldy corn-eating corn huskers.
Sorry, Derek. I called out Jason. I couldn't tag you. I was going to tag you in the old Gopher teeth chatter. Sorry, not sorry.
What was the score? What was the score of that one game? Wasn't it like 80-something to 70-something? Where that guy threw for over 400 yards and 10 touchdowns and they lost? Sorry, I don't follow football, but I did hear that on the radio.
Was that? I don't know that one. I stay specific. I'm going to be honest. I'm a huge football fan, have been for years. I took it in the shorts a couple years ago by some people that wanted to make a statement, and so I stopped watching one complete type of football, and I just stayed true to the Big Ten, which happens to be like the Big 18 now, I guess. No one ever gives Mountain West any credit, so I've stayed true to the Wyoming Cowboys, but.
Yeah, there was some. It said it broke a record in Texas for the score, and I know it was like 80-something to 70-something in a college football game. And the team that had the quarterback threw for over 400 yards, or no, it actually might have been more than that, but 10 touchdowns and they lost.
And we do not talk about any like sporting teams in Louisiana because no one even knows that they have teams on there.
They do.
They have teams playing right now, and it ain't Florida State. Just that.
And I know what sport you're talking about that you don't follow anymore. I think it starts with an N and ends with an L.
I don't even remember. It seems too big, too long.
It's right. I'm a hockey fan, so
Attaboy, bring in the real sport. The hardest sport on the face of earth.
I played.
What was that? I missed that.
I'm a hockey fan. I before
Oh, hockey, eh?
conditions happened, I would play in adult pickup leagues and adult organized leagues here in the Phoenix area, and also I would drive up to Buffalo, New York, and play some pickup hockey too when I was living in New York State.
That hockey's a bittersweet conversation for the old Minnesota people because we know that Texas likes to steal teams, and no, they stole our stars many years ago, and we're battling back. We're battling back.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you from my years in living in Michigan that obviously I was a Red Wings fan, so I can still do a goal too, eh?
Hey, you got it, eh?
Yeah. Oh, score a goal, eh?
Rugby is legit.
You just say rugby?
Yeah.
Who said rugby?
Well,
Derek.
Derek brought up, and
I did.
Here in South Louisiana, we might have water skiing hockey, but there's not going to be any ice hockey.
Water skiing hockey in South Louisiana.
But we do have our own pro-am rugby team.
Do you know what the #1 fastest growing sport in high school sports is right now?
In high school sports?
Curling.
Yeah.
Curling.
Curling.
Cornhole.
It's hard to play that in Louisiana.
Curling.
Cricket.
Lacrosse.
No.
Golf.
It's trap shooting.
Trap shooting? Yeah.
Okay, claim to fame right here. Claim to fame. Our high school has the biggest high school team, and we've taken first place. I think 3 years in a row.
No, at least they're good.
In curling?
In no trap shooting.
Oh, okay.
Trap shooting.
Sorry, I'm stuck on the curling.
In the 12-ounce curls. Yeah. At least Hastings good at something. That's.
Oh, really?
That's.
Trap is my second favorite, you know.
Tim, you kind of shared. You did share what the mission of Patriot-owned businesses is. What are, and I know you go to events and you network. What is something your organization is working? Is there anything you're working on specifically to pull in veterans and first responders?
We do. There's we've got maybe, which is funny, that we have about 6 or 7 nonprofits that are members of Patriot-owned businesses. Actually, it might be more than that now. They're all veteran nonprofits. And we do a lot to help veteran nonprofits. One of them, off the top of my head, I don't know if I know you've heard of this, and that's how I met you, was Operation Texas Strong.
I was going to make a prediction.
That gets CRVs for the veterans. We do a lot of work with a organization out of Houston that is called Boots for Troops, that sends care packages over to our overseas active duty members. And then we have a couple other organizations, Veterans for Life, and I apologize if I can't remember all of them, that all do stuff for veterans when they're back home, kind of like Operation Texas Strong, and to assist with our organization, and that we encourage veterans to join the group. We don't do anything specific for veterans as far as when we do events. Obviously, we want them there. Now, we do recognize them, obviously, which anybody that's watching or anybody that's on the screen right now that has served, my hat is off to you. Thank you for protecting me and my family. But we do always recognize them at every event we have. We never charge anything for veterans to be part of the group. We never charge anything for veterans to post in the group. Even though I'm not a veteran myself, I probably do a lot more for the veterans, and I hope, let me look and see, I hope nobody from POB is watching this, that I do a lot more for veterans, just because of my family background and I can't say really my emotional connection to what these people have done for me to be able to sit here with you fine Americans and talk about, what we're talking about today. So I know I didn't really answer your question, but we do a lot. We definitely do a lot for veterans, and we're kind of expanding on some of our veteran stuff, going back to the hashtag POB gives back. When we do have things come up where veterans are doing an event or something, we're going to use that to either be there, sponsor it, or send them funds. Along with that, we do a couple of other events with other veteran groups during the year. And again, it's something that's fairly new, even though it's been 2 years. So it seems like almost every day things are expanding on, who we're helping. And, we have a lot of people that have asked us about a certain section for veterans. And we do have, if you list your business on Patriot-owned businesses, there is a box you can click where it shows that you're a veteran-owned company.
Scotty Hastings, I don't know that that's a fair piece, saying you had a trap and skeet team, being from the middle of nowhere, Kentucky. I think that's called finding dinner team. I just let's call it what it is, okay? Joel, you do a lot with so you already said your mission, you're working, you're training, you're helping coach, you've done lessons for guitars for veterans. Tell us more about that.
Right now, I graduated one student now. I'm my second student. He's going to complete his 8th lesson tomorrow. So once he does that, we'll get his brand new guitar sent out to him, and I'll look for I'll have the cyber coordinator get me set up with another veteran. I also sent a guitar to Mr. Donald Dunn of Two Drunk Dudes in the Gun Room podcast, and I'm meeting with Donald online and showing him how to play guitar. I keep on telling him we're gonna be two drunk guys with guitars, and we're gonna get there. We're gonna do something together sometime. So,
I love it.
So I like. I think for me, with like with tremors and neurological disorders, music can help rewire the brain. It's helped out with people with traumatic brain injuries. My first student, he had a traumatic brain injury from his service in Iraq, and he really picked up guitar really well. And by the time that we got him, he graduated. I mean, it really helped out his situation. So I think music can help out with helping people out with brain injuries and also with other type of disorders. So that's kind of like my mission that I want to help people out now.
Tim must have had to take a little breaky break. I'm not a huge fan of dead air ever.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I was talking. My mic was just on mute.
Oh. You are 100% absolute accurate, Derek Thompson. And Derek is coming to us from Shadow Mark Podcast. And also, he's a musician as well. And we'll be having him on our show here in I don't know the exact date yet, and I know I have an amazing team that could find that probably drop hat here, but I know it's in the next month here. But we've got a lot of stuff going on. I hope he's not the day that we come back from. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. The Hero Stock event.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
October 8th.
October 8th. Thank you, Jonathan. I was hoping, and we've cleared out kind of our backstage with some of the music pieces we've had. I thought maybe we could throw up a Mr. Hastings song. Would anyone be against that?
No?
No?
Nope.
I'm throwing everyone under the bus. Everyone's going under right now.
Yeah.
Andrea and Jonathan, because so we had this great idea one time that we'd all do different segments, and we kind of done it, but not really done it. So Andrea, you're in charge of the next segment.
Sweet. Okay, for the record, that was your idea. Jonathan and I don't really like to talk all the time, so that was your idea. But no, you're good.
Only because I'm going to be under the bus too.
See. I know what's next though. We asked him. What's coming up for you next? What do you have? What do you have coming in your future? Your near future? Tim, that one's for you.
Oh, sorry, I'm here.
That's
I'm here.
Okay.
Sorry, my 52-year-old, or no, 53. Sorry, my wife's outside. She's probably going, "You're 53, not 52."
Yeah.
I apologize. What was your question again? I don't know.
What?
You
just got back. I didn't mean to catch you off guard. What do you have coming up in the near future?
Actually, we have some pretty interesting stuff that we're working on. One of them is a development with some fellow POB members, which is Patriot-owned businesses, by the way. It's going to be POB Marketplace, which is basically a Patriot version, conservative version, however you want to put it, of Amazon, where we allow businesses to post all their products to sell. We allow companies like plumbers, electricians, therapists, doctors to post a calendar where you can set your appointment directly through Patreon or POB Marketplace, which is probably one of our biggest things that we got going on. We have a certain gentleman in the organization that is taken the ball and ran with it. It's going to be a great example is everything that he's doing does not run through a server. He is making and building this all on his own. So he has it set up now where there's two servers. One is in Allen, Texas, and one is in Kansas City, Missouri, that will hold up to 1 million hits per hour. And you can list over 4 million products on there without it crashing. And if it does crash, they can switch it immediately to the other server. So it's going to be a pretty big deal when it does launch. Now, it's taken us a lot longer than we expected to get this to happen, but we're pretty excited that that's going to happen in the next, to be safe, I would say 30 to 60 days. It's kind of in beta testing. We have a bunch of businesses in the group that are already on there and getting it all set up and telling us, hey, this isn't working, this doesn't work. We're expanding our reach across the United States, which if you're not a member of the Facebook group of POB, we're going to start doing more events throughout the United States instead of just based Texas, Oklahoma, our immediate area, which I know Texas is a large state, to try to expand, our reach. Because anything that we do, the way I've been looking at it is anything that Patriot-owned businesses does is going to help every business and individual that's in the group. If we go out and we praise POB for what it's doing and 50 people join, that's basically 50 more Patriots that can help support all these other businesses. But the marketplace is probably the biggest thing we got coming up right now.
That is very cool. Very, very cool.
We're excited. That sounds
awesome, actually.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Everything's
to
leaning
check it
towards
out.
that direction right now anyway, right? A place where you can go and jump on an app or whatever and shop online.
And it's something that's, anything, obviously the grassroots takes a long time to get organized and run. POB has never paid for advertising. Everything that you see through the group and through our website and that has been organic, word of mouth. And we think this is going to really excel our reach, across America. We do have members from all 50 states now, and businesses, I think, from 48 states, which I don't think we have a business in Alaska, but I think there's only 6 businesses in Alaska anyways. We just haven't reached one of those 6. So yeah, we're pretty excited on the direction that, Patriot-owned businesses is taken. There's a lot of different organizations that kind of do, to an extent, the same thing. The issue that I've found, I know this has nothing to do with your question, and I'll get off my soapbox, I promise.
No, you are fine.
Is everybody wants to see who has the biggest unit. So everybody wants to be in charge. Nobody wants to come together and show, hey, we can be united. Now, there are a few groups that do. I'm aligned with Freedom Link USA, which is based in California, which, kind of going back to that, we're going to do an event in Arizona, halfway between Patriot-owned businesses' home base and between his, which he does do the exact same thing, basically, and see how many POB members show up and how many Freedom Link USA people show up, just to see, who we can get and show that, oh my God, they're actually working together. We don't have to be divided. Oh, what a great concept. So we're pushing on the unity thing, trying to get a lot of these people to come together. Some of them won't because they want to be the big thing, but that's not what we're out for. We don't want to be the biggest thing. We want to be the most important thing.
Right. Nope. Coming from the world of trying to get people to collaborate, 100%. We understand how that works. Joel, I heard a couple strums on the guitar. Do you have another song?
I don't have another song. I just got, I got a story about this Telecaster here. So back in the 1980s, I'm a big Bruce Springsteen fan, and I wanted a guitar like his. So I went to Guitar Works. I said, I want a guitar like Bruce Springsteen, but I'm left-handed. And they said, well, Fender doesn't make a left-handed 52 style Telecaster, but the guy said that he knows a guy at Fender, so he called him up, and Fender built this guitar for me to the 52 specs. I got I don't know if you can see, but that kind of has the old fashioned Fender custom shop stamp on it. This was a custom shop Fender Telecaster before buying a custom shop guitar was the big thing. But I just I don't know. I like playing the blues and stuff. So, but I just got a little 5-watt amp here. Oh, the tubes are warming up though. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I got the amp turned down because my wife is resting in the other room. So I get in trouble with this one. But yeah, I just mess around. If I can get my tremors to control. Well, that's basically the story of this guitar. I had it for a long time.
I like that.
Yeah.
The sound is actually really good. I don't know about you guys, but it sounds, I mean, if it's quiet, it sounds really good coming through this way.
Yeah, I just got it down really low. It's Yeah, that's about all I got for this one for right now.
Sounds very
Without
cool.
getting in too much trouble.
No, we don't want you to get in trouble. You don't wake her up. Do not irritate her.
When my wife goes out of the house, I'll take that and wow, it only goes up to 10, but I'd like to go to 11 or 12.
Well, we don't want your wife to be at a 20, so.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to have to take her out to dinner here soon.
There you go. There you go. Joel, do you have some things coming up in the near future as well?
On this coming Saturday on covarts.org, the Guitar for Vets Learning Center, we have a music theory book club. So I get to present the first chapter where we're going to talk about pulses, beats, rhythm, how to produce the notes, and that's going to be 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Pacific. So it's September 9th. And I don't know if it's covarts.org, the Guitar for Vets Learning Center. And if there's any veteran out there that wants to get the basics of acoustic guitar, they got some online courses there, and you can get started that way while you're on the wait list for a Guitar for Vets program.
Awesome.
That's very cool.
There's a lot of good programs on the Cobart site there. That is awesome. I'm going to go actually check that out. Maybe could listen. What time does it start on Saturday? It's 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Pacific.
Okay. Maybe we can listen in. Will it be streamed on social media?
It's going to be streamed on the Cobart site, so you're going to have to be a veteran registered with Cobarts there. Okay. And you can search the Guitar for Vets on their Facebook page. I don't think it's going to be streamed on their page.
Okay. Very cool.
I got a fancy metronome that I'll demonstrate. It's the old-fashioned TikTok type of metronome, so I'll be discussing that.
I didn't know there was a new kind. Is that?
Oh, the new kind. With the app on your phone, I use a metronome on my phone and all that, so to get the click down when I'm I attempt to strum in time. Sometimes if I know if there's a drummer and a bassist in the Phoenix area to come to my house, I got a big living room we could set up and jam together.
There you go. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. An app on your phone. I just remember the old during band. It sat right up on front.
Yeah. It's actually sitting right on top of my wife's piano. My wife is a very accomplished piano player.
Does she play with you on some of your music?
No, she's more of a classical type. She helps me out when she hears me sing. She says, "You got to sing it like this." I said, "Well, I'm just basically learning to sing and play it right now."
She knows best.
Yeah.
Usually do.
You guys are good. You don't have to say that because I'm on here.
I'm saying it because mine might be watching.
She might be watching.
I know she's listening around the corner.
That is good. What do we got? Contagion effect.
They are so confusing. They're just all over the place. Come on, contagion effect. And I'm assuming this is Mike. No, this would be Eric. Ian. I came up with because we talked about doing a once a month. I'm just gonna put it out there. A once a month event with contagion effect where we just have people come on, just randoms, just like we did on. I know they had a planned, scheduled thing, and then they let it get out of control, and they. It's supposed to be M and me and WeP3, and I was thinking M&M kind of thing, kind of like roll that M and me because
they're a meme.
Eric,
there it is.
Eric
They're
Mello,
a meme.
and Mike Ellick, and WeP3, and I just thought it was funny, and I texted him it, and now he's throwing it kind of on there. He almost got it. You got to have the ends in there. The ends make it important. M and me and WeP3.
Scotty Hastings does not. Oh, did he get a partner? Scotty, are you still listening? Did you find a partner?
He's not. He's feeding the horses.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he's feeding the horses. I know this. I'm talking to him. But we got Jason Steiner in the house.
There we go.
M and me and WeP. I love it. I love it. Now we got it. Rolling it down like Eminem. That's the way it is. It's a rap. We'll create a rap together. So I do have a song booted up for Scotty Hastings. We do have to do some. We have the closing to do. We have Andrea's piece to do. But there were some comments that I like to kind of, because I was listening while I was getting everything rolling. But Tim brought some things up, and I'm all about soapboxes sometimes. How do we get everyone to work together?
Are you directing that towards me?
Yeah.
If I could write that in a book, I would be talking to you right now from a yacht in the Bahamas. But what I have figured out doing this the past 2.5 years, and I've already known this in general, and you can agree or disagree, you're never going to satisfy everybody 100% of the time. An example, you might not like my beard, my hat. That's fine. Tell me. I have no problem with that. But if we can agree with each other at least a percentage of the time, then we're winning.
Sure.
So to get everybody to work together, you have to find a common ground, which you would think it would be patriotism, to find a common ground to get everybody to come together. What I had, oh, thank you, Hero Stock. What I have noticed over the 2 years of doing this, and for those that don't know me, I'm a very what's the word I'm looking for to make this sound right? Understanding person. We'll say it that way. If you have a problem, I'll listen. The problem that I am seeing is the things that are separating us are thank you for that too. The things that are separating us the most, I believe, are the small things that usually don't bother us, but because of the temperature in the United States of America right now, it causes these to be big problems. So to try to get everybody to bond together, which is definitely what we've tried to do with POB, is I try to keep the peace, which everybody needs to do it. My biggest thing is going back to what I was saying earlier about how some of these groups need to come together just to show that at least we're united to a certain front, would show these, as Chad Prather would put it, would show these fair-weathered patriots that it's more to it than typing on your computer. You know, going back to these events where you pick up one thing and you tell one person, that's the unity is probably not going to be united the way you're saying, but the unity can be united through different factors as far as talking to somebody. Even if you don't agree with me, but you tell them something that I said, you're bringing unity to the fact of what we're all fighting for, what we all believe in, what we all, live and breathe every day. And Bro, I went off on that, but I can tell you right now, if there was some way that you could bring everybody together, I would be 100% on board with, like, the five of us sitting here. We're together. I mean, there's no reason why we all can't be.
And I will
but there's so many factors. There's so many different factors involved nowadays with this that I see just across messages and talking to people is, it's either they're too expensive. They're not Republicans. They believe they're different. They believe in God, but they're a different religion than I am. They're this, that. That has nothing to do with being a patriot. That has nothing to do with coming together. Hell, I sit and talk to people sometimes that I hope that's the last conversation I have with them. But be kind, be generous, get your point across, and call it a day. Right. That was a good finish. I need to write that down. Be kind, I can't remember it now.
We'll get it. And so in the makeup, you said, the five of us are united here and that we're on the same line. I can tell you, the people that come on and have been on the comments, we've got built relationships with all these organizations, all these people, these podcasters, these musicians, these influencers, these groups. I know that I can call and I can talk to each and every one of them, and I know that we're on the same page for the most part. And again, I don't question their intent. I don't question what they're getting. I'm full-heartedly believing that everyone is in the same boat, and I love using that terminology because we're all in the same storm. But I feel like we've got outliers out there that are trying to get something else out of it other than supporting others or supporting a bigger passion, a bigger piece than themselves. And again, I don't feel like I'm showing my cards here. From the very beginning, we have said we are going to be 100% collaborative and 100% transparent. Now, the toughest part is when we say we're 100% collaborative and we get someone that's interested in working with us. They come in and like, well, let's change this and change this and change this and change this, and they're there for 3 weeks and then they're gone.
Yep.
And we've wasted our time investing in them to get them to the speed where, there's nothing elaborate about what we're doing. Basically, it's your final words that you said there, which I can't remember at this moment too. But bottom line is be part of something bigger than yourself. That's our biggest, our push, our drive, our passion.
That is what you just said is probably a lot bigger than anything I could ever say, and that's true. You have to be bigger. You have to focus on something bigger than yourself. And that is truth beyond words. We kind of came up with this here, touching on a little bit of what you said is there's a difference between a patriot, PATRIOT, and a patriot, PAYTRIOT. Those are the ones that are in it basically to make money off of what we believe in. They probably get more influence off of certain things than we do because they're pushing for their narrative. They're hustling for their narrative, which is to make money. For us, being true to what we believe in, even though we get our point across, a lot of people see that now that, oh, well, these people weren't in it to actually help us. They're in it for the money. Heck, you can see influencers across YouTube and Twitter X, PMLM, whatever they're calling it now, that's where they make their money at. Kind of going back to what we talked about earlier, where I'm going to sit on my show with my 1.3 million viewers and preach about what's wrong. I can't give you a solution, but you just keep raising my numbers so I can make my bills. And then people see this, and that's what separates. That's not what separates. That's part of the reason that a lot of people shy away from things like you're doing and what we do because they automatically think that it's, hey, welcome to Patriot-owned businesses, send me $10. So we're getting lumped in with some things that is not fair to what we're doing. I mean, I'll give you a good example, and I'll make this as quick as possible. On Patriot-owned businesses in our Facebook group, I made a post that simply said, what is Patriot-owned businesses, POB, worth to you? Is it worth 99 cents a month? I got 400 comments on this one post. Most of them were telling me I can't charge them 99 cents. I didn't say I was charging you 99 cents. You did not read what I was telling you. So I went through and answered every single comment with the same thing. I'm not telling you I'm charging you 99 cents. I'm asking you a question what you think POB is worth. The correct answer would be, I think POB is worth $1 million. I'm not telling you to pay me 99 cents a month. I'm asking you a question. So there's a lot of there's a lot of issues with social media that don't allow us to be brought together. Me telling you that person to person, face to face, and this is the example I was getting to. So me saying to you, hey, what do you think POB is worth? Do you think it's worth 99 cents a month? That's a simple question. Yes or no, or, oh, absolutely it is. When they see it in writing, they think I'm saying, hey, what is POB worth to you? 99 cents? There's no emotion in a text. And everybody automatically nowadays assumes the worst out of that text. It's no different than me telling you no. In a text, it might look like I'm saying no. But talking to you, I'd be like, no. So there's so many, going back to the fair-weathered patriots, there's so many people that read everything online and only will respond online. It's kind of like, and I know you guys know who the Dallas Cowboys are. It's a professional football team in Dallas, Texas.
No.
Yes, Texas, Dallas, or whatever, has the worst fair-weather fans you'll ever see in your life. They're winning. Only thing I see one more Cowboy jersey walking through Kroger's, I'm going to throw up. But when they're losing, there's nothing. So that falls in the same line with what we're doing. When we're doing great, everybody's like, rah, rah, rah. You know, we the people, rah, rah, rah. But when we're not at the top of the heap, oh, I'm going to burn this jersey. So there's no, you can see who is following and not. I'm sorry, I apologize. Go ahead.
Oh, don't apologize. These are the dynamic conversations that legitimately need to happen, and people are afraid. And there's going to be some people. Oh, I'm not that person. I'm not those guys. Okay, but you're not the one showing up to meetings, planning, creating. 99 cents would create a small infrastructure to allow you to continue to move forward. Now, here's my critique on that. You need to get better on Reels and TikTok, which we don't do real well on either, but because that would take that emotional piece out of that because they can see the dialect in there. But it's,
I mean, if you looked at that, going back to what you just said, and that's a good example. One of the best comments out of those 400 comments was from a member that I've never even seen before, which is funny. I'm sure you guys see this too, where somebody will make a comment like, oh, well, this sucks. I would never do it. And then I try to respond like minutes later and they're already left. It's like, why did you even leave a comment? But this person made a very intelligent comment that said, I know it started out somebody, this will tell you how ridiculous some of this is. And you're talking about fair weather patriots. Somebody made the comment that said, what's POB going to do with $16,000 a month? And I, in turn, said, do you really think every member is going to send us 99 cents a month? That would be amazing if they did, but I even knocked it down to 3%. You know, what is that? $350 a month. But somebody did come on and stated, you're right. What would POB do with $16,000 a month? If you are a member of this group and POB had $16,000 a month. By the way, this is no plug to send POB money. Well, yeah, go ahead and send me $16,000.
Do it. Do it.
Do it. Send it. Or hey, send me 99 cents, whatever. But they had stated that if we were bringing in that kind of money a month, and then we started turning even half of that into advertising, a business that chipped in 99 cents a month, all of a sudden, instantly, overnight, had $8,000 in advertising. Instantly, for 99 cents. Because we don't support one business, we support them all.
How about the fact
and then they're like, oh, I never thought about it that way. Well, duh. What do you think I'm going to do with it?
I don't want to step on what you're doing, but how about the fact that you can create an infrastructure that allows you as the businesses and organizations, A, to get your word out there more, A, and B, let's say the piece that is out there, we have between what marketing brand you want to listen to, 22 a day, 17 to 75 a day, or over 100 a day when you throw veterans and first responders attempting and committing suicide. How about we could turn this around and go find another organization to help support as an effort to accommodate? Now, again, that gets tough, and I understand because, the People's Patriot Project will want to be a part of that. We have 46,000 veteran organizations across the country that's saying they're helping veterans and first responders. Less than 10% of those are doing the job that they say they're doing. And I can go on and on and on and throw data, stats, everything at you. Bottom line is we're not getting the effing job done. We're not doing it, people. You all get to lay your big fat heads on the pillows of freedom every single day, not worrying about your tail, because guess what? You get a dial 911. What happens if there's no one else on the other side of that call one day? You're going to bitch and moan and complain. No one saved my life. Well, if it's your life,
we run into that with events. We'll host an event in Dallas, we'll say. And probably our biggest stronghold with Patriot-owned business, obviously, since we're in Plano, is Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We'll hold an event in Dallas. We'll have 100 people show up, 150, whatever, which is what you would expect. Always the day after. Oh, I'd have came if I'd have knew about it. Or when are you going to do one closer to my house? Where do you live? And then it'll tell us where the town they live in. It's like 6 miles away. What do you want me to do? Hold it in your driveway? Don't come to me telling me we're not trying to do anything, that you can't drive 6 miles down the road. But then somebody will be like, hey, we really want you to come to our event. Oh, where's it at? Oh, it's in, Mexico City, Mexico. Well, hell, you wouldn't go 6 miles, but you want me to go 5.5 hours away and have to get a plane, a flight? That's not fair. And they won't do it. The fair weather people won't get up off their butts. Again, going back to the rah, rah, rah. That's something that really does upset the crap out of me, is they want us to do so much and we do it, but then they don't want to be a part of it because it interrupts their daily schedule.
I know an organization that invested heavily to be in Texas in May, and they did everything they could. They were down there. They got everyone involved, and you saw how that event turned out. Yeah, it is what it is, man. And
that's a great example, and that's why you have to have, obviously, everybody that's here right now. You still have to have enough power in yourself and enough pride in yourself that you can take good away from that. We've had events like that, where 10 or 15 people show up when 50 people are like, oh, I'm going to be there. I take the positive out of everything that we do. As an example, with you coming here to Texas, that was amazing. I got to meet you. I met a bunch of great people there. I'm here today because of that. It's just that expansion, going back to 3% of people created America. Why can't 3% of people protect America?
We're with you, brother. We're with you. Joel, we know you're there, brother.
Yeah.
We know you're there.
Just hanging out. one of the cats came by wanting supper, I think.
Who was that special guest?
What's that?
Who was that special guest?
That was Sebastian.
Sebastian.
Yeah, named after Johann Sebastian Bach.
Oh boy. I got Scotty Hastings. I had him on the line, and I said, "Hey, if we could play one of your songs, what song would you want us to play for?" And he said,
"Hey, I don't mean to interrupt real quick, guys. I apologize.
Yep.
I got to hit the road. We're actually camping, and we're kind of watching the weather. So,
do your thing, brother. Thank you for coming on.
Okay.
Thank you, and everybody. We hope everybody joins Patriot-owned businesses. This will be the only Democrat thing I say. To join POB on Facebook and our website is free. Other than that, I appreciate you guys having me on. I hope to see you again, and we need to partner up and do an event here soon.
Amen, brother. We got you.
Yes, awesome.
And have me back on. If you guys want to have me back on, I'm more than happy. Maybe next time I'll be at home and sitting in my lounge chair.
You're welcome on the show anytime, brother. Anytime.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be.
Man, I appreciate it. You guys are all doing awesome work. I appreciate meeting each and every one of you, and I hope to talk to you guys soon. You have a blessed weekend.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thanks, Tim. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Bye, guys.
To be heading down the road too. The wife is over behind me. I think she's a little shy to poke her head in here.
Oh,
you guys have done amazing. We went over our hour, and that's okay. Thanks for coming on, Joel.
Yeah.
You're welcome on here at any time, and Patriot Pride, brother.
Okay. Thank you.
Enjoy your dinner.
Thank you for having me. You have a rest of the wonderful evening, and have a good Labor Day.
You too,
Thank
brother.
you.
Okay.
Yes, you
we'll talk to you later.
Appreciate
Bye-bye.
it.
Yeah. Bye.
All right.
That's
what happens.
I'm not going to give you an I told you so, but we're almost on 2 hours again.
I know.
I know.
There's so much more we can talk about.
I know, right? We got to have a meeting. Got to have a meeting now.
Well, and that's we need the power, the inspiration, and the drive of people like that who want to stand on the front lines and unfortunately get spit on in the face. And again, spit on in the face by your brothers and sisters. And I'm not attacking our veteran and first responder brothers and sisters, but you know what? If you're not doing anything, you're not helping. There's a truth. If you are in a space where you're taking care of yourself, I get it. If that's the priority, I get it. I understand it. The purpose and the reason of the People's Patriot Project when it was started was volunteer firefighters that give everything that they have and own, literally, to provide for their PPE, to provide for the apparatus in the fire hall, to pay for their training, to pay and not have an opportunity to have vacations with their family because they've given everything. That's how the People's Patriot Project started, is realizing there was a reason, the purpose, and a cause for it. I could get in trouble saying this, but I've watched a veteran exploit a disability in our network. And they have stopped in many, 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 many organizations and have taken a bite in each one of those organizations. And he regularly still posts his emotional anguishes. And my heart goes out to a point, but at the same time, knowing his background, knowing where he's been, knowing what he's doing, he's hurting the network more than he's helping any part of the network. And I don't know how to handle that piece because he needs to be slapped on the nose is what he needs to be doing. There's more there's a lot more I'd like to say, and I'm not being judgy, trust me. Anytime I have a piece of critical response, I always clear it through both Andrea and Jonathan. and other people in the network. And I'm just like, tell me where I'm wrong. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to do what's best for everybody. We need some fire. We need some fire. I'm sorry. No one is going to storm the effing Capitol here. I'm sorry. I know that's a thing that's in the news. That's not what we're doing. We're taking care of those that have taken care of. They've already invested. They've already invested. And I don't know.
Sadly, I'm sure every network has a person or two like that. And it's such a tough one because you don't ever want to leave anyone hanging. And in our case, we build these relationships and we're very close to to all of our people. And so when that happens and you watch it over and over again, I mean, it leaves us feeling like, shoot, did we leave something unaccomplished? Should we have had longer, deeper conversations? Should we have helped them find relief? But the hard part is it seems like they find that relief. And then, a few months later, it resurfaces because there's a new issue happening. And so, yeah, that's a very tough one. Look at Joel is listening now while the wife is getting ready.
What a blessing
Joel,
that guy is.
our guests are amazing.
It's hard to have a negative thought and negative anything on this when you've got a man like that who is just an inspiration. He's got his struggles. He's got he's legitimate. And did you hear him complain once during that whole pre-show, during show? Nothing but positivity. And you know what? We're going to move forward and do what we can with what we got. Boom.
There we go. Okay, here's what we got.
Pre-show or during the show, there was that one part where he mentioned, I'm going to keep strumming this guitar until I can't hold my pick anymore. Said, and then I'm going to beat on it like a drum.
I'll be a drum. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Great job.
All right. You're going to say something.
No, we all need that positive energy. We really do. And so I'm going to just say selfishly, that's why I don't want to miss a show. I hate missing events. I never want to miss the opportunity to meet a new person. You just never know what kind of energy and what kind of positivity you're going to get from the people that we come across. And Jonathan, you're definitely one of those. Thank you.
How tough is that in the fact that we've not missed a show? I don't have the potential. I don't have the list up. 160 some?
66.
166 shows. We have not missed a show, and every Sunday is committed to this. And again, I'm not looking for the pat on the back. That's not it at all. But there's some days when I get to Tuesday and I got to do a planning meeting with these guys, and I'm like, I don't want to even effing be there. I'm tired. I'm ready. I just want to sit on the couch. I just want to sit on the couch tonight. And it's like, no. And because we've got people like Jeremy Daniels that is on here every freaking week and I'm assuming this is important to him. We've got Derek Iozio who's on here every freaking week. And there's a value. And you know what? There's no bravado coming through in this. We're not the I won't mention groups and this and that. We're not trying to be.
We're not one-upping anybody. We just like to be
nice.
Here.
I'm trying to.
You want to know what's funny about that whole thing you just mentioned, though? Like Tuesday, you come in for the planning meeting and you're like, just want to get this over because I'm so tired, right? And then you move on to the projects, and by Wednesday or Thursday, you're like, man, I got so much I want to tell Mark, or I got so much I want to tell Andrea, or something. And we're right back here again.
Well, right. Where's Jonathan? Wonder if he's busy. I thought about you this weekend. I'm like, shoot, it's holiday weekend. Wonder if he's working or if he's home. Should I send him a text? And then, yeah. I mean, even tonight, I was like, wonder if both of them are showing up, because I could stay in the pool longer and hang out a little bit longer, but this is the energy this is where we go and what we do. And thanks, Eric, and Contagion Effect. Eric and Mike, you're a big piece of that energy, and Jason is a big piece of that energy. I don't know. Tim is back. We hadn't heard from Tim for a while. Tim Franklin, thank you also for your energy. You know, I gotta say, tonight we had, and I don't know how long, I'll go look at the analytics and see how long anybody watched, but those of you that are still out there, thank you so much for stopping in. I'm gonna create a new word right now. For stopping in
today.
For stopping in, because as I watch my phone, right? I hop over to all of our personal, and then the other, we got your 6 at 6 and the People's Patriot Project, the page and the group, and then we got WeP3 Radio. You guys, there's so many people popping on and watching, and I just can't thank all of you enough. And please share the word. And when it's not a holiday, I mean, maybe so many are here because they don't have to work tomorrow, which is super great. One more day before those of you that send your kids back to school these last few weeks. I mean, God bless you. And I get to go back. It's Sparkles, Jeremy, we need you here, buddy. So we will be, and this is now 5 days away, we'll be heading down to Nebraska and up to Nebraska. Is that I say for you, Jonathan? You're coming up?
Yeah, everything's pretty much up from here. If it ain't South Texas or Florida, it's up.
And we're going to Ashland, Nebraska for Hero Stock with so many of the people that were on tonight. Thank you to all those people as well for stopping in. Cannot wait to get down there. And crap, I'm gonna try to go to bed early every night this week. So Hero Stock, where we've got do you have that thing put up? Did I miss it?
Yeah, it's up.
Scotty Hastings, the headliner. It was weird because it wasn't on my screen yet. And then so Guitars and Vets will be there, and then we see Dylan Bloom and Blue Collar Band. There are rumors about some big names stopping in. Derek Thompson will be there. Thank you, Derek, for being here again tonight. That's a hop, skip, and a jump for Derek, I believe, even though he's out in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska. But just big things, big fun. I'm pretty sure. Thank you, Contagion Effect. Who's ever heard of Ashland, Nebraska? Not till the last few weeks. And then those of you that are staying in Minnesota, over in Jordan, and hey, Jordan's cool. I was with my daughter in Jordan and my sister. We were wasting a little time while my nephews were at the Renaissance Festival. Drove around Jordan. Go visit the Sutton Farms Highlander Beef Farms, Sutton Ridge Farms. There we go. They are having an event, and it is supporting veterans, and they always have a theme, but it's fun, you guys. There's music, there's food, you can milk a cow or squirt people with the milk from a cow. Anyway,
where's that? Look at this.
I know. Who does that?
I don't. It was.
Hey, Eichmann, shh, don't. Oh, you got a sticker.
I milked a cow today.
Milked a cow. See, you can get a sticker.
That was last year.
Get a sticker. They had it was Vietnam focus last year, so they had like the guys at the table with uniforms, packs. How do you sleep in those little bitty tents? Like whoop whoop, it's up. It's like this big, curl up. The radio packs. It was just crazy. It was really crazy. Thank you, Timothy Franklin. You are awesome for being here. Thanks for stopping in. Hero Stock, where adulting happens. Talk to types. We're adulting happens. Jeremy, you crack me up. So Sutton Ridge Farms, you guys, their proceeds this year are going to Every Third Saturday, who is an amazing group. They've been on the show. I always keep meaning to put the date that they were on here, but I think if you just Google every third Saturday, the People's Patriot Project, the show pops up. I mean, because we're a pretty big deal, so it'll just pop up in your.
Find us on all major search engines.
just pop it in there. Oh shoot!
Something we do have going right for us is our SEO. I don't know why it's going so well.
Our what?
Our SEO, and I don't know what that stands for, but it's the piece of getting us in front of you type in
engine optimization.
Thank you. Search engine optimization. See, I do know something.
No, it just sounded good. I don't know if that's it.
It is right. It is right. You put in the peoples and boom, you're gonna see our green everywhere. Don't quote me specifically on that, but anything you do, we got your 6 at 6. Put that in WeP3 Radio. Put that in. We're at the top of everything, and it's working for us right now. And then that's a little bit of bragging. I'm bragging a little bit.
Did we put the WeP3 Radio link on? You guys, I went in and posted in WeP3 Radio. You got to check out our WeP3 Radio. It is full, and it will be even more full as soon as we load some more music in. And I think Steve Wilson might be watching right now. We are going to be collecting more and more music from our veterans and first responders, and we're going to get their music, and it's going to be the #1 veteran and first responder music station. It's going to be, I mean, it is amazing, and it's just going to keep getting more and more amazing. Well, your dad comes well before us, Steve, so that's all good. That's all good.
You're still here. Thanks, brother.
Well, he popped back in. That's cool. I saw him pop in.
If you have not heard Steve Wilson, you need to go check out his music. And he also plays under another group name, too, and I'm not smart enough to know from the hip. And,
I do.
I'll get better.
Is it Matt Black? Steve?
Yes. Yes.
Matt Black. Would you know how I know that? Because I regularly go check on people and see what they're doing.
Well,
and so
it's not that I don't. I check on too many people, and it.
Guitars for Vets Nebraska. I like to see that you're watching as well. Next week, you guys, we have 2 super awesome guests. We have got Phil Cook coming in, and we have got Scotty Fraser Music. And oh my gosh, I can't wait to meet him in person. I've met him in email, and he's so polite, and he sends things back, and he's super excited, and then he ends it with a Semper Fi, which I appreciate very, very much. Go listen to his music, you guys, as well. What are you doing? Don't take pictures. This is weirdness.
I got people text me, what are you doing? Well, I'm in the middle of a live show. That's what I'm doing.
Same.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny. All right. So next week, same time, same place. We are over 2 hours at this point. And
Perfect.
I think Peterson has a song to close it out with.
Well, at first we do. Sorry.
Yeah, do quick.
You guys, if you watched us, you heard us, you know it. You know it. 6-pack, 36 seconds, 6 seconds per person. Call your brothers and sisters. Text them, message them, say, hey, thinking of you. That's it. We've got Mr. Scotty. Jonathan, anything in closing, brother? Sorry.
No, just I kind of run over from last week, I think it was, but it was hit on again tonight with just stop looking for reasons to be apart. Stop looking for reasons to separate yourself from everybody else. Be positive and quit all the negative stuff. Get away from it. Be positive and celebrate the reasons why we're the same.
It's true. It's true. We got Scotty Hastings, the stories that they tell.
Yes. I was hoping that would be the one.
Stalling.
Friday night down at the Legion Bar, Bill opened up a box of old cigars. Said on this day back in '69, I lost the best friend of mine.
Connor said that the place I've been, but it was 2010 Afghanistan. Raised his glass, said here's to friends and their ultimate sacrifice. Yeah, the times and places, they may change, but one thing stays the same. The stories that they tell about going through hell. If you think they wouldn't do it all over again, well, you just don't know them. The memories that they own of the ones who didn't make it home, yeah, they sure do miss them, but they keep them all living in the stories that they tell. Bartender says next round for me, I spent some time overseas. Tonight's my first night behind this bar bill, hand in hand with a cigar. Well, the faces and the pictures, they may change, but one thing stays the same. The stories that they tell about going through hell. If you think they wouldn't do it all over again, you just don't know them. The memories that they own of the ones who didn't make it home, yeah, sure do miss them, but they keep them all living in the stories that they tell. Yeah, some will laugh, some will cry, sometimes they'll wonder why. And I've been there, so I wrote this song. I know the need to carry on. The stories that they tell about going through hell. If you think they wouldn't do it all over again, you just don't know them. The memories that they are the ones who didn't make it home. Yeah, they sure do miss them, but they keep them all living in the stories that they tell. We sure do miss them, but we keep them all living in the stories that we tell.
For just $67, you can make as many videos as you want, and you never need to pick